You see, the time has come and everybody will answer his father's name in this country. Jungle has matured.
Zam, one thing that you guys have forgot, a real and original Fulani man, you will never ever see him with an AK-47 inside bush. Never. A real Nigerian Fulani man, you won't ever see him with an AK-47 inside bush, except stick and a cutlass. This cutlass, we are using it to cut a tree or to survive with our cows, because you know there's a wild animal that can kill our cows. If we don't have this cutlass, we cannot save our cows. So it will not be possible. So we must use this stick or this cutlass. So any person that you see with an AK-47 inside bush, he is not a Fulani man. Please stop calling him a Fulani man. Just call him a terrorist. Simple. Any person you see with an AK-47, he is not a Fulani man. Just call him a terrorist. Please stop spoiling our name. Please stop spoiling our name. Any person you find out with an AK-47, don't call him a Fulani man. Just say he's a terrorist.
Hi, good afternoon. Today is Saturday, the last day of August 2024. Well, I am here to connect dots for you. You see what this Fulani man said, that there are two kinds of Fulanis in Nigeria. And that is justifiable. Before, Nigeria has, been like this without the Fulani inside Nigeria carrying out all these deadly attacks. Now, in 2014-2015, when they were about to remove Jonathan, I don't know, other agendas that they have, they imported people from Sahel. They are Fulanis as well. So when they imported them, they started carrying out all these, terrorist activities. You will see them with AK-47. And what this guy said is true. Before, you can't see a Fulani man with AK-47 and so on and so forth. So, in connecting the dots, I remember that there was an allegation made by Enyinaya Baribe, senator representing Abia North, on Arise News. Yes, he said that in effort to remove Jonathan, that was when they carried out these evil activities. Listen to him.
In trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria, and a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. What has happened in Nigeria is that most of the time when something comes up today, we never sit back and say, how did we get to this point? We got to this point by virtue of the fact of the effort to remove President Jonathan. There had always been this herder-farmer clash, but it never got to this point where whole communities were exterminated so that some people will be roaming freely within their land, which is what happens in Plateau and in Benue State.
I think Benue is the worst hit.
Precisely. Yeah. And you know why? Because most of the banks of the Benue is lush because it's watered by the Benue River. And so these people came and they want. And who are these people? And that's a question that we have not dealt with. The bill first said that we have to confine these people to the ranches within their states of origin. And somebody woke up and said, no, every Nigerian has a right to go around. There's no such thing like a state of origin. Why will anybody make that statement? Reason is that in trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria, and a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. If you ask any Nigerian Fulani, he will tell you that there's something called the Bororo Fulani. And that Bororo Fulani are these imported ones. They don't own land. Therefore, what they want to do is to settle in Nigeria. They were given free passage, let me just say it, by the Buhari regime. And we were shouting at that time, don't bring people into Nigeria who are not Nigerians. They won't have sympathy. They won't know what has happened. All they want to do is displace you, take over your place, and roam freely within that place.
But there were cattle herders as well.
They were, but the Nigerian cattle herders were not carrying AK-47 rifles and other.
So these guys brought their guns with them.
So these guys brought their guns with them. First thing they did was to start to rustle the cattle belonging to Nigerians. And so a Nigerian herder who loses his cattle, has nowhere else to go, he becomes part of them. Because he is given, okay, you either join us or you got nothing. And some of them, of course, joined. And so we have this complicated problem. And this complicated problem is what we want to solve by saying, can we confine you to a particular place? If you have, okay, what you want to do is to move your cattle from where there is grass to another place where there is grass, and you can roam around with them. And I also pointed out on the floor of the Senate that Governor Ganduje at a particular time said, my state, Kanu, has more than enough land for all the herders in Nigeria to go around with it.
Now, when you look at what this senator representing is it not Abia North, what he was saying it boldly because he knows what he's talking about. So this APC government, including Tinubu himself, including Buhari, so these people masterminded the importation of terrorists into Nigeria from Sahel. And one of their governor then, Ndemodo Sheriff, from Boko Haram, amidst all these things, all the whole things they were doing, just an effort to remove Goodluck Jonathan from office. And today, look at what we are facing. Are you surprised why this government of Tinubu is no longer fighting insecurity? Are you surprised? They don't even talk about it, talking to fight insecurity. The other day, they swap. They said they are going to divide Nigeria before December. That is what ISWAP said. And as I speak to you, there is a video in circulation, and what they are saying in the video is that they are here. They have come to Nigeria, that there is nothing the federal government will do. That if federal government have security, or if they think they have courage, that they should come and meet them. This is what is happening. And people are sleeping with their two eyes in this country. People are just there laughing, doing all sort of things. They don't know what is coming. They don't just know what is coming. By the way, most of them already have 2 passports. Most of them are not in this country. So they are not bothered about what is going on. Anything that happens, they can just move with the next flight. They are out of the country. Everything boils down to the poor masses who don't want to reason, who don't want to wake up to their responsibility of challenging the status quo. If we continue to keep quiet and allow these people to continue to do what they are doing, time will come, it will be too late for us to rise. The time is now.